So we're here in Gettysburg, Pennsylvania, where 150 years ago today, Alexander Gardner would have been standing in these very same fields, capturing some of the most famous photographs of the dead of the Battle of Gettysburg and some of the most famous photographs of the American Civil War. And they took place, and these photographs are right here, right next to this rock. Right here was a famous photograph of the dead Confederate soldier who has his side eaten out, which the artist says that it was done by a shell fragment, but in fact it was done by wild pigs, according to historian William Frassonito. Gardner's dark room would have been up in this area, up in here. There's some photographs that you can see of that. Along the line of trees over here to my left, you would see a line of bodies running along that fence line. And then as you move over this direction, there's another rock in the ground that you can locate here. The grass is a little high. You can locate a rock here that points out to a line of soldiers that are ready for burial. But down here in the weeds, down here a little bit further into the field, you can see a famous split rock photograph. The famous split rock which William Frassonito found and identified the location of all the bodies here at Gettysburg. There's a rock here where there would have been some dead soldiers. Along that rock there in front of the split rock would have been dead soldiers. And then over here to my right along this rock here, there was a set of dead soldiers. And finally, out here in front of me, in front of this little area right here, that little mound in front of me, is where the famous V-shaped formation of soldiers with the point of the shape of the V heading down toward the bottom. But that would have all been ready for burial right there in that area. So it's pretty cool to be standing here in this spot where, again, 150 years ago, Alexander Gardner would have stood and captured some of the most famous photographs of dead soldiers. They were dead Confederate soldiers here in an area of the Gettysburg battlefield known as the Rosewoods. So if you ever get a chance, you got to park your car and get out and cross a fence to get here, but it's well worth the trip to be able to stand here in this spot and think about the area that you're in, and be able to ponder, think about the events and those dead soldiers here in this area. And we have to thank, again, historians like William Frassonito, Gary Edelman, Tim Smith for doing the work that they do with Civil War photography to find and locate some of these sources and some of these areas, because without them and without their work, none of this would be possible in this beautiful location. So just one last look back at that famous split rock. If you ever get a chance